Okay, good day class. So this is a recorded session. This session is for your topics under unit learning outcomes A. So yung i-discuss ko ngayon would be about your coverage for your first exam. Okay, so I would base my discussion today sa module na na-share ko sa inyo. So let's start. So under unit learning outcomes, it's basically about yung mga key terms lang natin revolves around this four main terms for unit A. Okay, let's start with freedom. So freedom is a state where a person or place is free from subjection to foreign domination or foreign control. So out of the many countries, around 200 plus countries na meron tayo dito sa ating mundo, most of them basically exercising freedom. Yan. Together with its people, for example, ngayon, yung panahon ngayon is the election ng United States, yung presidential or yung national elections nila. So the fact that they are exercising their rights and their rights are not impeded, yan, they can exercise their freedom as a nation or as a state. But also, freedom is not just the things or yung mga bagay na ni-exercise tao. It also is the freedom of their government who is basically running their country. Kasi merong mga bansa na hanggang ngayon, some of them are still under domination or control of another more influential and much bigger country. Yan. So, for example, uh, yung Singapore, for their independence in 1960s, they're basically under the administrative control of both Britain and yung Malaysian countries. Yan. But because yung dating leader niya, si Lee Kuan Yew, really pushed for independence, kanilang maliit pero saganang bansa, then because they are able to attain their freedom, it also means that their form of government and their people are free from being subjected sa control ng ibang bansa. For example, hanggang ngayon, ang bansang Canada, ang bansang Australia, even though they have a somehow sovereign form of government, nakakaboto sila with different types of government, pero the fact na hanggang ngayon, ang impluwensya ng United Kingdom, specifically yung Queen ng United Kingdom, may control or domination pa rin, especially sa kanilang gobyerno. Both countries were formerly territories ng United Kingdom. So they can say that they have freedom, pero politically and the structure ng kanilang gobyerno is virtually not free. Kasi meron pa ring subjection sa influence ng reyna ng United Kingdom. Okay? Next, indigenization. So this is the act of turning something more native through transformation of services, ideas na para mas bagay sa isang locality or sa isang region, especially na merong mga taong tinatawag natin indigenous people na siyang may unang control or unang nakatira before civilization or yung modernization ng isang lugar. For example, ito sa Mindanao. So, even before yung globalization, even before the modernization, and yung current civilization ng mga different cities and places, meron talagang mga naunang mga tribo, naunang mga grupo who stayed in our island dito sa Mindanao, and also sila yung unang inhabitants. Of course, because they are a tribe, they are bound to have cultures and rituals, yung mga ceremonies nila, and also yung mga byproducts ng kanilang pamumuhay. Yan. So those are part of indigenization. Learning something more new. For example, makikita nyo sa mga pageants, yung mga beauty pageants. One concept of a beauty pageant sa Pilipinas is the use of indigenous materials or yung mga materials. Yung paghahabi ng tela, which are basically different sa iba't ibang regions. Yan. So, ginagamit ng mga beauty pageant contestants yung mga indigenous materials, yung mga designers niyon, hinahalo nila ng indigenous and somewhat modern design is indigenization. Yung hindi mo tinitingnan yung isang bagay o isang ugali based on what is currently adopted. Kasi merong mga kultura na nauna sa isang lugar were the original inhabitants, and when you indigenize those, also pertains to preserving their culture and recognizing na sila yung nauuna. And for example, yung mga pinapakita sa museums dito sa Mindanao, yung mga museums sa probinsya or bawat syudad, they're really highlighting the original inhabitants coming from the past. Yun, yung before pa nagkaroon ng colonization una ng mga Espanyol. Even before the influence of the Spaniards, meron ng mga indigent groups, mga original na Pilipino na nakatira na dito. So, yung mga kultura nila, mga ritual nila na pinasa from generations to generations, hanggang ngayon, somewhat, sinusunod pa rin. And salamat din tayo na merong mga taong willing i-preserve yung kanilang kultura. Willing i-preserve yung kanilang mga produkto coming from their tribe or coming from their group. And that is indigenization. I-recognize ng mga tao sa ngayon, sa modern period, yung ambag, yung mga produkto, mga ritual na ginawa ng mga naunang mga tribo or grupo. Yung mga ginawa ng mga natives. Transforming their services, yung mga ideas nila noon, and sharing it and modernizing it para ma-recognize ngayon. Okay, so that is indigenization. Next is nationalism. So nationalism means more importance to duty by way of a cultural background, including language and heritage. So let's go with the keyword dito. Meron yung keyword na kailangan nyo tandaan, importance of or importance to unity. Yan. For example, dito sa Pilipinas, of course, we are considered a sovereign country kasi may freedom tayo. We have an independent government. Na-impluwensyahan tayo ng ibang mga bansa, pero our government is fully run by Filipinos. So we have freedom. We also vote for our own leaders. Yan, another characteristic of having a sovereignty. Sa nationalism, again, it is based on the people. Ang focus nito yung tao. And that yung mga taong nakatira sa isang bansa or in one state are giving importance or highlighting unity. Ibig sabihin, whether Ilocano ka or Ilonggo ka, whether Cebuano ka or Waray, or Magindanaon ka or you are part of the Surigao non-native, or kahit na Bicolano ka, regardless of your culture, regardless of your origin, because you are a Filipino, because you are part of the Philippine citizenry in times of certain events or certain actions in life, yan, for example, language, yan, ginagamit mo. For example, you were born in Mindanao or dito sa Davao. Of course, yung mother tongue na language na ginamit mo, yung Bisaya. Yan. Ikaw naman ay nanggaling sa ibang lugar. Of course, you have your own mother tongue. Yan. Whether Surigao yan or Muslim tribes. But because you are a Filipino, you were born in this country, you are somewhat using the national language, which is Tagalog. Sino bang Pilipino hindi marunong mag-Tagalog? Diba? Pwede yung mga nakatira na sa ibang bansa or sa ibang bansa. Pero yung mga pinanganak dito at lumaki dito sa ating bansa, of course, you are expected and you must be knowledgeable of the Tagalog language. Just your own dialect. Yan. So, because things has different cultures, you have different dialects. Yan. Dialects. Yan yung mga regional languages na ginagamit. Of course, Filipino or Tagalog is our national language, pero 'di ba? May iba't ibang kultura sa ibang bahagi. Ilonggo sa Northern Luzon, or Ilocano I mean. Yan. And then sa Central Luzon, meron tayong mga Buenyo at mga Kapampangan. Then sa Southern Luzon, may mga Bicolano, merong mga Genyo. Yan. And then as we go to Visayas, may mga Ilonggo, mga Waray at Cebuano. And then tumindan na mga Surigao nun, yung mga sa Muslim tribes yan, mga Iranon, mga Magindanaon, yung mga Chibacano sa Zamboanga. Diba? May iba't ibang kultura represented by language. May iba't ibang pamumuhay depending on the environment they live in. Kung saan sila nagsettle. But boss, whether you are an Ilonggo, Ilocano, Chabacano man or Cebuano, you are a part of a nation as long as the state is still doing its job, as long as the state is still attaining its freedom, nationalism must be within ourselves. Yan. Diba? For example, ngayon, nagkaroon ng bagyo sa certain parts ng Southern Luzon. Diba? Hindi lang gobyerno ang kailangang may gawin. Especially the rest of the country. Kasi sino naman ang magtutulungan? Di ba tayo lamang? And how can we help our fellow Filipinos if di natin binibigyan ng importansya o pagkakaisa? Regardless of where you came from or where you are situated right now. Importante ang isa. Kasi hindi natin mapanatili ang kalayaan, hindi natin makakamit yung hinahangad natin as a country kung walang pagkakaisa. If we are not showing nationalism, tiwala sa kapwa Pilipino, tiwala sa ating bayan. Next is patriotism or patriotism. It pertains to the love for nation with more emphasis naman sa values and belief. Kung sa nationalism, yung cultural background. Diba? Pag natin sa ibang bansa, kung nationalism, mamimiss natin yung mga pagkaing Pilipino. When we go to a different country, basically, we need to speak English. But then as we stay on foreign soil for a very long time, as a Filipino, magiging homesick tayo. At kung sa nationalism naman, home tayo sa mga kultura. For example, mga pagkaing Pilipino. Kung nasa ibang bansa yun, tumagal tayo doon, miss talaga natin yung pagkaing Pilipino. At dahil Pilipino tayo, dito tayo sa Pilipinas lumaki, pagdating natin sa ibang bansa, we are expected to speak in English, but then there will be times that we would miss speaking our own dialects. We would miss speaking Tagalog. Yan. So, yan yung sa nationalism. Pero pag dito sa patriotism, love for nation with more emphasis sa values and belief. For example, pumunta tayo or nag-migrate tayo sa ibang bansa. Filipinos who started migrating or just migrated to other countries somewhat loses their citizenship. Kasi yung allegiance nila o yung panuan nila nawala na sa Pilipinas. But when we visit as a tourist sa ibang bansa, kung tumagal tayo sa ibang bansa, merong mga kulturang Pilipino na nami-miss natin or nakasanayan na medyo mahirap mag-adjust nandun tayo sa ibang bansa. For example, yung pagmamano or yung values ng Pilipino na kahit na matanda na, kahit na may sarili na tayong pamilya, inaalagaan natin at close pa rin tayo sa ating mga magulang. And even the extended family. Mga igsoon, mga igagaw. Yung strong bond na sa Filipino towards our family, even in different countries, is being shown by Filipinos. Also, patriotism, the love for nation. It means na kahit anong mangyari sa ating bansa, meron pa rin tayong tiwala sa ating bansa, state itself, and Filipino people. That is patriotism. And for example, yung mga sundalo, mga nagseserbisyo sa gobyerno, mga kapulisan, o yung mga regular workers of government, before tayo magsisimula sa trabaho or before public service would start by an individual employee of the government, di ba manunumpa pa yan an oath to either serve or protect. Yan. So, the basis of it is that it is not just on every government employee or official, but for every Filipino to love his nation. The same goes sa mga ibang bansa. Diba? For example, may laro yung Gilas Pilipinas sa ibang bansa. Sabihin natin kalaban nila US. Yan. Diba may makikita tayong mga Pilipino na susuporta. Diba? Kasi ang trato ng mga Pilipino, especially yung mga OFW sa ibang bansa, na parang kapwa nila kapamilya yung mga naglalaro sa Pilipinas. That is part of not just being a patriot, but also a nationalist. Yan. So, patriotism, love for nation with more emphasis on values and belief. Yung belief na kayang malakasan ng bansa natin yung mga problemang dinadaanan natin is patriotism. Diba? May mga sundalo, malaya sa pamilya nila, kahit napakahirap yung trabaho nila, pero dahil sa pagmamahal nila sa bansa, pagmamahal nila sa mga taong Pilipino, sa mamamayang Pilipino, pinapatuloy nila yung trabaho nila na magserbisyo para sa publiko. Because each soldier, each member, kasundaluan or kapulisan or even other services, they have this belief na malalagpasan ng bansa anumang paghamon na ibinigay sa atin. When you still believe that the country would still improve, would still have the chance to be better, that is patriotism. Okay? So, next, we'll discuss about yung introduction natin yan. So, as we all know, karami nating mga national heroes who before we attained independence from them, eh, pinaglalaban na nila, whether secretly or publicly, first against the Spaniards, yan. Naglaban nila yung kasarinlan ng mamamayang Pilipino. So, what does it take for a nation to be genuinely free? Yan. Ano ba ang kailangan ng isang bansa para maging totoong malaya? Are we truly free up till now? Is our country or our people still free or are truly free right now? Diba? May mga question na ganun eh. So, during the time na nakikipaglaba ang mga Pilipino sa mga Espanyol, there were certain individuals who right now are considered our heroes in promoting and fighting for our freedom. Of course, hindi naman natin pwede malimutan yung utak ng himagsikan. Yan. Si Apolinario Mabini, brains and conscience, or yung utak at yung nagdala muno earlier sa pagkakaroon ng independence or kalayaan natin that time laban sa mga Espanyol. So, yes, he is the brains and conscience ng punan, ba? Or yung KKK. Yan, yung kataas-taasan, kagalang-galang katipunan ng mga anak ng bayan. So, there's an excerpt on the next page. Yan. So, sinabi niya noon, marami ang nagsasalita ng tungkol sa kalayaan na nang hindi ito naiintindihan. Marami ang naniniwala na ang pagiging malaya ay nangangahulugang maaari nang gawin ang anumang kaibigan. Ito man ay para sa mabuti or masama na isang malaking pagkakamali. Ulitin ko sinabi niya noon pa, ni Apolinario Mabini, na marami sa atin, maraming mga tao nagsasabi tungkol sa kalayaan or freedom. Pero marami dyan sa mga nagsasalita na yan ang hindi ito fully naintindihan. Apolinario Mabini then also cited na yung pagiging malaya ng isang bansa ay hindi nangangahulugang pwede nang gawin lahat ng gusto ng mga mamamayan nito. 'Di ba? For example, dito ngayon sa Pilipinas, it doesn't mean we're a democracy. Ibig sabihin na demokrasya tayo, kaya na natin gawin or pwede natin gawin lahat ng gusto natin. That's when law is created. Laws are created not to curtail or limit everyone's freedom, but to control people in order for them not to harm themselves or not to harm others. Yan ang dahilan bakit may batas. And that is one thing na naisip ni Apolinario Mabini at nabahagi niya sa mga miyembro ng Katipunan. Because freedom is not free. It's not easy to achieve according kay General Antonio Luna. Yan, sinabi yan dati ni General Antonio Luna na yung pagkakaroon ng kalayaan ay hindi madali. Napakahirap. Napakaraming sakripisyo na kinakailangan para makamtan yung tinatawag nating kalayaan. To the point na meron talagang pagbabayad. Either sa dugo, pawis, or kailangan magbayad, kailangan may maisakripisyo para makamit yung minimiti natin at time na kalayaan or freedom. Diba? Alam naman natin, we were conquered for 333 years ng Espanya. But then, Filipinos grew sick of it. We wanted to start the new phase of a nation. Napakaraming mga sundalong Pilipino, napakaraming mga Pilipino noon ang nagsakripisyo at nagbuwis ng buhay para lang sa kalayaang natamasa natin ngayon. Okay? So, also, freedom has been a significant concept discussed in all sectors of society. Di lang sa panggobyerno, pati na rin sa civilian world. Diba? Napakarami ngayon ang nagsasabi na freedom. They needed freedom or they want freedom. Well, freedom is not free. Ang pagkakaroon ng kalayaan ay hindi libre. It comes with a price. Could be life, could be fame, could be anything. At yung kalayaan natin is not absolute. Sa butana, ang atong kalayaan, our freedom or our freedom as an individual is not free. It comes with a price, and that everything we do in life, everything we do for our country, there are certain limitations. And those limitations are set, those laws are set in order to protect us, protect our nation, and also others. Yan. So that is the basis ng constitution ng isang bansa. Bakit may mga batas ng isang bansa? Bakit merong mga taong nagpoprotekta ng mga batas ng konstitusyon ng isang bansa? Okay? So, I bet you have already read the following topics here. Yan, sa 1.4. Yan. So, Let's proceed to 1.4. Ito tayo. Fast forward after the independence of the Philippines noong 1898 sa Spain, and after our independence sa Amerikano at sa mga Hapon noong 1946, it was July 4, officially na-declare yung kalayaan natin sa mga Amerikano at sa mga Hapon. Let's proceed to 50s or 1950s. Yung pagsimula ng Korean War sa Korean Peninsula. That was a 3-year war na hanggang ngayon, stalemate pa rin or stalemate. Walang nanalo, walang natalo. Yan. So, there was an inscription sa Korean War Memorial sa Amerika, freedom is not free. Di ba? Yung Korean War, gusto ipaglaban ng South Korea at ng North Korea na kailangan nilang mag-divide. Kasi may iba't iba silang pananaw. Iba't ibang mga sistema ng gobyerno. Ang gusto nilang i-implement or maibahagi sa kanilang mga mamamayan. But then, it created a conflict between the North and South Korea. So, nagpadala at yung United Nations led by the Americans ng contingent ng mga sundalo. And once yung United Nations Security Council magbibigay ng directive na magpadala ng mga pwersa, it is not only the United States military, but also other nations who are in support with the military. At that time, nagpadala ang ating gobyerno ng mga Pilipinong sundalo were sent to South Korea and defend South Korea together with other nations. For example, yung mga taga Turkey at Puerto Rico, in order to prevent the North Koreans overrunning or conquering South Korea. Yan. So, naipakita doon na yung tapang ng mga Pilipinong sundalo, kung naibibigyan sila ng tamang suporta, they can do their job very well. Again, during that Korean War, yung mga Pilipinong sundalo were obviously outnumbered and resulted into various deaths. Maraming mga Pilipinong sundalo na napadala ng Korean War, they paid the price, which of course, they were not able to go back home alive. Still, they shown to the nation and they shown to the world that they're one of the best at that time. Yan. So those were the key contributions kung saan napanatili pa rin ng South Korea yung kanilang gobyerno with the help of Filipino soldiers. Even General Douglas MacArthur cited the Filipino soldiers, yung mga Filipino scouts noon, sinabi niya na you can give me 10,000 Filipino soldiers and I will conquer the world. Because General Douglas MacArthur recognized that Filipino soldiers who helped the Americans noong World War II ay sa sobrang tapang, kaya nilang gawin anong gusto nilang gawin. Ganun katapang ang mga Pilipino. Not just the soldiers, basically the Filipino, even to this day. Diba? Kahit may bagyo, napapanatili pa rin ng mga Pilipino somewhat yung itik, diba? Hindi naman pwede buong taon, buong araw, kasi mangot lang. Because Filipinos are known to be resilient. Kahit anong itapon sa ating problema, itapon sa ating bagyo, we face it and we overcome it. Yan. Okay? So, also, We need to understand freedom as a basic concept in order for you to understand it further. Okay? So, yung sinabi ko, freedom is basically our key ingredient in order for a government to be created, in order for our people to have jobs, for our people to be able to buy things. Kasi kung wala tayong kalayaan, then most of the things that we are experiencing today, hindi natin na-experience. Because there's no freedom. Walang kalayaan na samat magawa natin yung mga importanteng gawin natin. Okay? So, I would like also to highlight, nandito yan sa baba, yan, nandito sa 2.3, there's one phrase there na sa Pilipinas, the concept of freedom and nationalism together with patriotism of every Filipino is a key ingredient. Hindi naman siya pinapakita or hina-highlight Filipino as of the current period, but because it is needed, it must be present, and that kailangan constant yung pag-i-inform mga tao, especially through this subject. In-inform kayo mga criminology students who would be future public servants of the key terms, the key things that is needed for this country to continue on. And that is freedom, nationalism, at patriotism. Those are just the concepts needed. They're just some of those na kinakailangan para ang ating bansa eh magkaroon ng continuity, manatiling isang bansa. Okay? So, some of this, or I think you have already read those excerpts. I'll just highlight those key things you need to identify and differentiate. Okay? Let's proceed next. Okay? So, I will just highlight this sa 2.5. Please take note of self-identity. Diba? Pagdating natin sa ibang bansa, we would be recognized as a Filipino. Bakit tayo recognized as a Filipino? Maybe because may passport and Filipino. Somewhat, our IDs show that we are a born Filipino. Yan. Yung iba, physical, it's already given, but it is somewhat subject to abuse, especially sa ibang bansa. May mga bansa na hanggang ngayon, binibigyan pa rin ng napakalaking issue yung kulay ng ating balat. Not just us, but also other Asian countries. And because we have our unique physique, we have a unique country, diba? We are an archipelago. It is part of our self-identity that we are a Filipino. Hindi lang yung isang lalaki, isang babae, have this kind of behavior and that behavior. Pero basically, your self-identity is that you're a Filipino. And when you're a Filipino, you belong in a certain tribe or cultural group. Diba? May Bisaya, may Ilonggo, may Ilocano, may Chabacano. Okay? So, as we all know, a nation is not built by just one person. It is the continuing unity, formation of different levels and industries of society in order to sustain and live as one nation. Okay? So we are considered one group. Diba? And because we are a nation, we are attached to our country. Ito yung mga simbolo nito. Diba? For example, we have our own flag. Diba? May bandila tayo, may watawat tayo. That is one identifying mark, one symbol that we are a free country. And the flag that we respect to is part of our self-identity, especially pag nasa ibang lugar tayo. Because we carry that. Kumbaga, para tayong mga ambassadors, especially when we go to another place. Diba? For example, nidako ka diri sa Mindanao, or you are a Cebuano. Diba, pagdating mo sa Maynila, you still carry that kind of identity. Diba? Sinabi ni Jose Rizal, ang taong hindi marunong lumingon sa pinanggalingan ay mas mabaho pa sa malansang isda. So that's basically true. Because you owe something, you owe a great gratitude to your origin. Diba? Maraming mga Pilipino sa ibang bansa na nag-migrate for a very long time. Pero once they are very old and weak already, gusto pa rin nilang bumalik sa Pilipinas. Because they were indoctrined na kahit sa malayo ka, kahit tumagal ka sa malayong lugar, you would still want to go home and live the rest of your days sa iyong home country. Yan. So that is part of our connection. That's part of our self-identity as Filipinos. Yan. And because we are a group living with each other, it will serve as a basis for the emergence of patriotism. Diba ayaw natin masira ang ating bansa? Ayaw natin na yung mga kapwa natin Pilipino magdusa? That's part of patriotism. Yung values, belief natin na kailangan natin tulungan yung iba, it's already a part of patriotism. And once we could help them, once we could help our fellow Filipinos, then yung pagiging united, having unity with each other, would emerge and become better. Mas magagampanan natin yung mga dapat nating gampanan bilang mamamayan ng bansang Pilipinas. Okay? So, next. What is patriotism? Yan. So, please take note of this. Highlight naman na dira. Patriotism is defined as free for one's country of birth. The main reason is dito tayo ng patriotism, pagmamahal sa bansa, pagmamahal sa bansang pinanggalingan, kasi dito tayo nagsimula. Also, the patriotism also involves love for one's country of naturalization. Kasi merong mga iba't ibang klaseng Pilipino according to legal standards. Mga natural born, yung mga Filipino dahil meron silang mga Pilipinong mga magulang. And there are others who are naturalized. Nandito yan. Patriotism by nationality and patriotism by way of naturalization. Yan. I could highlight this here. Yan. Mga naturalized. For example, di ba? Kilala nyo si Andre Blatch. Yung Amerikano. Technically, he's a Filipino. He's carrying a Philippine passport because he was naturalized as a Filipino. Kinonfirm ng Congress eh. So, he's considered a Filipino. Naturalized. And because he's a Filipino, he's bound to have allegiance and devotion to the Philippine nation. At hindi lang siya dapat ang may ganun, tayo lahat meron yun. Okay? Once again, patriotism is defined as love for one's country or one's country of birth. Dahil dito tayo pinanganak, dito tayo nanggaling. And also, excuse me, and also, may emphasis ng values and belief towards Filipino culture and the Filipino people. Okay? Also, patriotism originates from the Greek word patriot. Nandito yan, highlight ko yan. It originates from the Greek word patriot, which means fellow countrymen. Diyan yan. So, ulitin ko, patriotism came from the Greek word patria, which means fellow countryman. Okay? So, that is one of its origin. Also, it originated from another Greek word, which is Chris, which means father. So, kung combine natin yung Chris at ang patriot, it means fatherland. Okay? So, the father of our fellow countrymen, that is for Greek, patriot and patris. The origin of the word is patriotism. Okay? So, what is patriot? A patriot is someone who supports and acts in defense of his or her country and generally refers to a concept of national loyalty. So, yan yung tawag sa mga taong sumusuporta and also nagdedepensa sa kanyang bansa. It does not mean depensa yung physical. It could be any other method which will defend the Filipino and Philippines in general. Yung bansa natin, yung mga tao dito. So, yan yung tawag mo sa taong sumusuporta or um, those who act in defense of our country. They are called patriots. Kaya, yung mga sundalo or those who are serving the country, whether you're a soldier or a government employee or any civilian individual who supports and defend the country, well, you are a patriot or patriot. Okay? So, I think that is more clear to you. So, throughout history, sa various na mga bansa, sa different nations, patriotism is considered to having connection to one's land of origin. Yan. Regardless kung sinong kaupo dyan na presidente, regardless kung anong sistema ng gobyerno meron ng isang bansa, the main reason na ikaw yung nakatira dyan, dyan ka nang galing, dyan ka pinanganak, then you're expected to be having that sense of patriotism for your fatherland or motherland. Patriotism is having that strong feeling which is directed to our country. Yan. Strong feeling towards the land and its territory. Okay? Because also, meron tayong mga kultura sa ating bansa. The country has different cultures, traditions, and customs. We're expected to adjust to it and learn from it. And because they are somewhat having a sentimental value, pag ng mga Pilipino, for example, we need to preserve those good traditions and good beliefs para makita rin ng mga bata, makita ng mga bata sa ating bayan, yung kinabukasan nating bayan na kailangan natin malaman yung history, yung kasaysayan natin para sa future. In the future, hindi natin ito maulit yung mga pagkakamali at mas maipabuti ang ating bansa because we know our origin. Okay, so let's proceed next. So dito tayo sa 3.2. Okay? So patriotism is considered to have different meanings according sa history. Okay? Napakaraming meanings or napakaraming mga translations. Yung hinighlight ko kanina, patriotism, love for one's country, yun yung nangingibabaw. Okay? So, are there any questions? Kung meron man, you can put it sa forum so that I could explain the topics to you. Okay, so I think it's almost an hour for my discussion. Thank you for listening and hope that you will be able to listen to the next recorded sessions. Okay, so thank you and have a good day.